Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to another EVE Online video. Welcome back also to Jita, although we're not going to stay here for the entire video, because in this one I want to explore the player-owned trade hubs a little bit. So when I do EVE Talk, I usually cover the Jita local market, but lately I've been disabling the bottom filter for the buy orders because a lot of people are trying to buy their stuff from the location of player-owned citadels in the systems surrounding Jita. And I want to show you guys in this video why this is and why it's actually a good idea, especially if you're looking to trade or if you're looking to invest for the future. And personally, as some of you may know, I am planning to go for a large structure with the winter expansion, and so some preparation might be in order, and part of that might be that I'll probably need to make some of these structure components. And a big part of that, if I press show info on these for instance, is that you need some planetary materials such as broadcast nodes, nano factories, organic mortar applicators, etc. So we're going to need these if we want to make a large structure ourselves, and we need to invest in those. Now the summer is, I think, a good time to go for these, so I'll quickly go over this as well, make a little bit of a show of what I mean here. Here are the broadcast nodes, for instance, and October you can see this massive peak when the engineering complexes came out. And so here now you can see that we've basically settled down decently well, but still well above 2 million. So waiting out here a little bit might be the right thing to do. Perhaps not, of course. It is still a player created market here. Next up we've got nano factories. Personally, I like this chart quite a lot, except for the last few days, but you can clearly see that we are testing year lows here at the tail end. So these are currently buyers are below 1 million. I actually think that that's a pretty reasonable price for nano factories. Might be pretty good to take a look at those. You will also probably need some organic mortar applicators, and I like the 5-day moving average here, also moving not to a 1-year low just yet, but 1.1 million, not so bad for more organic mortar applicators at their height. You can see here October, November, 1.4, 1.5 million. Quite a bit of a premium to pay if you don't make your preparations early enough. So if you're interested in the rest of them, here are the recursive computer models, also settling down pretty low, quite nice. I would definitely consider putting up some buy orders in these as well. Here are the self-harmonizing power cores, very decent downtrend as well. You can clearly see on these that 2 million though is often defended quite heavily by the market. So once we come pretty close to that, as right now, trying to pick up some self-harmonizing power cores below 2 million would make a lot of sense. These are the sterile conduits next, also settling down quite decently low. And then finally we have the wetware mainframes. We can see in the last few days that these jump back up to 2.3 million. One thing that I should note about these wetware mainframes, I often mention it in EVE Talk as well, in my experience these have been the major bottlenecks when it comes to production, supply, and the construction of citadels and engineering complexes. So these also jumped up pretty heavily, up to 3.25 million, and they're currently being bought for just 2 million. So you can see here that the supply-demand mechanics here play quite a bit of a role in more volatility, a bigger margin as well, and as a result they're still not that cheap, although just above 2 million is definitely not a bad price either. But this is definitely part of my investments scheme, I would say, for this summer. I think that just as an investment these can be really good products to look into. And for me personally, I'll be basically hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, because I am planning to go for a large structure, and if I want to make it myself, having some of these in the bank could actually be pretty good. But we are of course here to take a look at the difference between Jita 4.4 and the player-owned trade hubs. So let's say that I'm interested in these organic mortar applicators, and for that I want to put up a buy order that I'm decently certain will be eventually sold to at some point. I would say 115, yeah, no, one more one. 1,115,000 ISK, I think is actually okay considering the current buy orders to try. Let's say that I want to buy 50 of them. I want to have 3 months of those. You can now see that my broker's fee comes to 2.57%. I think I could lower that if I did some rep grind for the Caldari Navy, but it's still costing me 1.4 million ISK to put up the buy order. So 57, a little bit over 57 million ISK to try and pick up these 50 organic mortar applicators. Now what we're going to do is we're going to disable this filter here, and now you can see that we also have green buy orders that are in the same range, but in perimeter, for instance, the I choose you trade hub. So let's set destination. I'm taking this one purely at random. There is a lot of activity lately in Itamo as well. 2 jumps out where some trade hubs are taking over, and you can see here save trade hub. There's plenty of others as well, but we'll go to the I choose you trade hub and we'll take a look. Maybe I'll quickly put one of these in here as well, just in case I need to show info window. And let's go outside. So let's remember 50 organic mortar applicators, around 55 million in cost, 1.4 million ISK. Oh, can't jump that way, so we'll need to do right click Stargates if I can find some space. Stargates, perimeter, and press jump. And so 1.4 million or 2.57%, I think it was, is going to be the broker's fee that I have to pay just to place that buy order and buy these, or try to buy these mortar applicators. Now we'll see the big difference here, of course, in a player owned trade hub, and the reason why so much demand was hidden behind that 1-2 jump filter. I have it basically set to only show what's happening in Jita itself, and for the month that's definitely not the right way to go anymore, because I can now choose to dock right in this player owned trade hub. And then we'll do the exact same thing. We'll try to buy 50 mortar applicators, but we'll give the buy order a 1 jump range so that I can also pick those up if they are sold in Jita itself. So let's take a look at that. Market, no, actually we'll go this way. Show info again. Where are, there we go, view market details. And now we can see here that we can place our buy order again. 1115, 1,115 seems to be an okay price. I feel pretty confident that I will get sold to at some point. So let's place that buy order. It's also only 50. I'm not gonna spend billions in one go. So let's give that a try. 1-5 and then 3 zeros. We'll want to buy 50 of those for a period of 3 months, and not the range, not station, but 1 jump out. And here is the big difference. The tax rate here is only 0.1%. 55,750 ISK is all it's going to cost me to set up this buy order here. Total cost 55.8 million, 1.4 million less than in Jita 4.4. So let's give that a go. I am actually pretty curious about this experiment because this does have one potential drawback, of course. Let's press buy. Is everything set correctly? Yeah, looks like it. Let's press buy. Let's do a quick reload, and now you can see here that my buy order of 50 of these in perimeter, and I will undock, we'll quickly go to Jita, and should still be in range there as well, because if we look at range, 1 jump out just like all those other green ones. And the disadvantage, as I was going to say here, is of course that if someone decides to move these organic mortar applicators, which there are some available here, into this trade hub, and I want to put everything together in Jita or try to sell it in Jita, I'll have to move those goods myself, of course. That is one disadvantage, but I actually think that chances are pretty low that that's going to happen. Most people are using this to avoid the taxman, and it does make a pretty big difference on just this 55 million investment. 1.4 million, you know, if you were looking at a large structure, in the end that is actually going to make quite a bit of a difference. So if you're a bit newer to the game, you're looking into trading, you're maybe looking into grabbing some investments for your own production, such as myself in Jita, then make sure to keep an eye on those player-owned trade hubs and to see if it's not worth it to take the 1 jump and place your buy orders there with the 1 jump range, of course. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys in this video. I hope it helps. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.